And looks like we are. So hang on, let me confirm. Hello, Facebook. Hello out there. If you're watching this live, thank you for joining us. If you're catching the replay, however, go ahead and fast forward, I don't know, 20 or 30 seconds probably. And that way we can skip through some of this. I just got to make one slight change, and then I'll introduce my amazing guest for today. Oh, this stupid thing. All right, I got to do it on my computer. I found out, Catina, that if I don't change it, it only has it listed to show up to my friends, not like the globe, if that makes any sense, on a Facebook post for all people. So we're going to edit that right now. Hold on one second. Oh, it's not letting. That's interesting. Edit live video? How about that? Nobody's seeing this right now anyways because it's like blocked.
Oh, okay.
I hate when they change stuff. Viewer, okay. Captions. Live tab. Live stream. Oh, this is so annoying. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Sorry. This is why we do this. Huh. It's got to be on the StreamYard side. Are you seeing it on my Facebook page or yours?
Let me see. I don't see anything yet. So let me just check.
Must be a setting somewhere that I'm not aware of. I mean, I see it on my own page, but right now it's saying only I can see it. So I just didn't know.
Yeah, I don't see it yet.
Even on your own?
Yes, I see it.
You do? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's roll. If we're live and you're watching this, I apologize, but we'll get this right. And Catina, even if we find out after the fact, it's literally, because I've done this before, a click of a button, and then the whole wide world and all your friends and my friends can see it. So
yes,
not a big deal. Let's. The main thing is we're here. We're going to get this in and share some really good wisdom with each other. So refresh. All right. Guys, if you're seeing this and you're new, welcome. This is the Broker Showdown. I believe this is round, I'm not even sure what, 24, 25, somewhere in that ballpark. But I'm always joined by very special guests, today being no exception to that, with Catina Broadwater here. She's a broker owner of Broadwater Tool Realty, LLC. And I'm going to give her a more proper introduction here in a second. But the Broker Showdown, what the heck is it? Why do we do this? What is it about? I love featuring broker owners, real estate leaders who are doing amazing things. They've got a servant-driven heart, and it's part of my mission to lift them up, to elevate them so people know. And I really want you to get to know Catina today, connect with her, send her a friend request. She's amazing people. And on a personal note, I've gotten to know her. We've run to kind of parallel for each other over the last couple of years or so, and she even attended our broker camp event in St. Louis. Got to know her well there, and I can tell you she is a really, really smart person. Like in the room, you just soak it all in. You're a sponge, but when you speak, man, people listen. I love your heart. She recently became a partner of the Locker Room with Brent Scott as her growth partner. So just really excited for the world to get to know you and have a little fun today asking each other some questions. So Catina, I'm going to let you give yourself a little bit more of an introduction. Tell us where you are, the brokerage, anything else you want to fill in the blanks on.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Catina Broadwater. I operate and own Broadwater Tool Realty and we represent South Carolina and Georgia. We sit right on the line of Georgia and South Carolina. So I'm actually 20 minutes from the Masters. If everyone knows about the Augusta National, we just had our Masters last week. And I've been in real estate for 18 years. It's so hard to believe that it has been that long. But I actually started working for free, just trying to see if it was something I wanted to do in the office of Neil Farfor, uh, in, Kingsport Realty. And I realized I loved it. I loved everything about it. And 18 years later, I am still in love with real estate. We have a property management division in addition to our real estate sales division. I am the wife of Anthony Broadwater. We have two girls together, Andia and Adrian, and we have two grandsons, Des and Byron. And life just couldn't be better. And if there's a saying at the Aiken Chamber that if you're lucky enough to live in Aiken, you're lucky enough. And I want to just change that to say, if you're lucky enough to be in real estate, you're lucky enough, because I still love it just that much.
That is amazing. Great intro, by the way. And I didn't know or realize, I guess, that you were that close to the Masters.
Yes,
So
I was there all last week.
That is really neat. You've got to be then one of the most popular people that everybody watching this has to be friends with. Because if you're a golf fan or just even love big famous events like that, I mean, hello, look her up,
Yes.
right? So excellent. My name is Jake. If this is our first time hanging out, founder, CEO of The Locker Room, where I work with amazing broker owners, just like Catina, and we help them on all things related to growth, retention, productivity, and profitability. I've proudly authored 3 books. I don't consider myself an author, but that's a thing. And run a couple other businesses, the Locker Room Leadership and Coaching Academy, which is an ICF certified institution. And most recently, I'm getting ready to launch a new vertical called the Coach's Brokerage. So always scheming, always doing something, never sit still. Typical entrepreneur, you guys know, because you are one. But just beyond blessed. I love what I do. I love who I do it with, and we're having a lot of fun. And as I said before, the Coaches Show or Broker Showdown rather is really a spotlight to the Catinas of the world who are doing big things for the right reasons. And as you can tell already, her heart is in this. She loves it. And I know she's very clear on the why behind she does it, because not only does she have a couple kiddos, an amazing spouse, but I heard some grandkids in that picture too. So
Yes.
it's an incredible way to provide and create a lot of experiences. So, all right. I think we're ready. Are you ready to dive in? Question number 1?
I am ready. I am nervously ready.
That's what I love about this, because guys, maybe I forgot this in the intro, but neither of us know what each other's going to ask. That's the point of the Broker Showdown. It's like edgy, it's kind of fun, it's on the fly. So I get to ask Catina 3 questions, and Catina gets to ask me 3 questions, and we're just going to roll with it. So without further ado, my first question for you is, let's pretend like I'm an agent in your market, in your areas that you service, right? And I'm a producing agent, maybe considering making a move. I want you to give me your condensed version of like a unique value proposition as to why an agent like me should consider joining your brokerage, and do so without disparaging anybody else.
That's something that we worked on over the last year. I've truly been working on restructuring Broadwater to Realty as we grow. And in the past, we've allowed Broadwater to Realty to unintentionally grow. So agents would come, we would accept them, and we would keep moving forward. But I think what I should have been focusing on prior to now is more of an agent-centric brokerage, which is what over the last 6 months I have transitioned to. And I want to just walk you through what some of that means. That means the leadership team, which we have a leadership team here now, focuses on the agent. So when we see that things are not kind of going in the direction that you told us you wanted your business to go, we can pounce. We can come in and say, okay, hold on, you're going off the rails. Did you change your goals? We want transparency, authenticity, and we want to be your growth partner. We want to see you grow in your business and treat this like a business. There's leadership opportunities within the framework here that we're very proud of, and we're built on honesty, authenticity, and we truly feel like preparation is everything, and it changes everything. So I know he said a quick snippet, but I want to go into a little bit more about what I mean when I say we're agent centric. We're the full broker support without any micromanagement, but we offer full service brokerage here. While you get to maintain your independence and run your business the way you want to run it, we also often offer a coaching and support structure. So we're intentional at BTR, and we expect you to be intentional in what you bring to BTR. So providing those elements for you to stay on track to the goals that you initially advised you had or that you're striving for, we want to make sure you sharpen those skills and that you improve on them and make sure that you're staying on top of it, because as soon as it leaves your purview, then it's gone and you're off track. When we say it's built for authentic agents, we're not just looking for someone that's going to work 24 hours. If that's not you, that's okay. So we want you to work and be yourself. When we look at your Facebook page or your Instagram or how you're moving in the community, that should reflect your authenticity and who you are. You're not going to be like Catina or Monique or Tasha, other agents in the brokerage, or even other agents that you watch and follow. You will have your own sphere of influence that's driven to your authenticity. We also have a culture of collaboration. We're not gatekeepers over here. We want to make sure that we share what our findings are, because if you're working from your authenticity of who you are, there's no one else that can compete with you. So there's no need to gatekeep. We're all about collaboration, and I discuss preparation-driven success. You cannot make one phone call and just say, okay, I've done my job. Preparation on the front end drives your back end results, and we help you with that. We provide support to assist you with that. And then the last thing I'll say here, we invest in you. So I'm not here to sit as a bystander. We're your willing, supporting, we're your cheerleaders, we're your business partner to make sure you meet those goals. So when you ask, what can Broadwater 2, why would I join Broadwater 2 Realty? It would be because you embody those elements. And if you don't, we're okay with it, because you will have to just find a place that sits in your authenticity. But we're going to throw the whole bag at you. We're going to throw it at you.
I'm sitting here smiling. I'm like, I'm in. Where do I sign? I'm in.
Yes.
You said so many words. I'm like, yeah, like resonating with me. But to your last point, like, it's not for everybody, and everybody's not for you, and that's okay. Here's what just to summarize what you said. That was so perfect and beautiful. And I mean, I'm not supposed to judge and label it, but that was good, Catina. And here's why I love asking that question, just to give some context. It was a couple of years ago by now. I went on a mission within a 90-day frame of time, and I interviewed, heck, you might have been one of them, I don't remember, but I interviewed more or less 100 broker owners. And I asked them a series of questions, one of them being this, and you can probably guess what I heard and what I didn't hear. And this was a classic example in a good way. What didn't I hear? What I didn't hear that I heard 9 out of 10 times with that focus group was caps and splits and fees and we're the cheapest and this and that. Like your answer summarized in agent centric. I wrote down the word development, collaborative. You've got a coach and support structure, full service, but we independent. It made me think of my business partner in a different business, Kit. Kit, if you're watching, shout out to you. You would make Kit so proud. And here's why. One of our themes at TLR Coaching Academy is the I see you leader. Like, I see you.
Yes.
I see you as an individual. We're not after creating cookie cutters here, right? All of that you basically, in your words, summarized, you are an ICU leader, an ICU brokerage where everybody can achieve whatever they desire, where you're not just putting everybody into one lump sum, treating them the same. They are unique. They are individuals.
That's
So
right.
where was that inspired from, Catina? I'm just curious, was as you created the value proposition, the culture, was that inspired by any certain thing, maybe a brokerage without naming names that you were part of that wasn't that? Or where did this come from?
I think it's two things, and a lot of it is growth. It's being in just inside of real estate. It really shows you a lot about yourself. But I wrote a book called The Battlefield, and it's really about successfully navigating life's challenges. And in that book, I talk about my road to authenticity of being myself. So when you say, was it a brokerage or was it one thing or another? One of it was the brokerages I was in. And I was thinking, how can I really grow and be a part of these things when I don't know who I am? And there's no development in finding it. So it was important for me to put authenticity at the forefront because that's what I want. I'm not looking for another Catina. I'm looking for someone whose goals match where they're going and how they want to get there. Then I can come in and I can support them with that without having to change anything about that person because they don't need changing. They would get the biggest payday feeling of their life by doing it on their terms. And that's what I want to nurture because that's how I'm operating now, on my terms.
Amen. And you're not going to say it, so I will. I've got your profile pulled up. One thing we didn't leave out that y'all need to know, I told you she was smart, okay? Creative director, speaker, public speaking coach, and mentor. So do you feel the heart? Do you feel the authenticity coming from her? And it's not about, if you're an agent truly watching this in the area and you thrive in that environment, you value what she's saying here. I mean, is it worth a conversation? Probably, because she's not coming at you with splits and fees, even though I know those are competitive and great. But you didn't hear that today, did you? And I love that. Thank you, Catina. It's really good.
Well,
all right, over to you. Now I'm the nervous one. First question from me. What you got?
So
she told me, by the way, everybody, that she had 11 questions. I'm ratting out. She had 11 questions for me. Like, girl, you got to pick 3. So
I have to pick 3. But Jake, you're not the only one that does the homework. So I went through a bunch of your works, a lot of your teachings and speakings, whether it's your Facebook page or your website. And I think this is so important for everyone to understand. In one of them, you said, I'm not going to be your cheapest. I'm not going to be your cheapest. So my question to you is, what been your biggest lesson around pricing and valuing your services?
Ooh, I have. All right, I'm not just saying this. I have never been asked that question, and that is a outstanding question. So say it for me one more time. I think I know the direction.
Yeah, so you said the 2000 part. So you know where that is.
Yep.
So what's been your biggest lesson around pricing your value?
Okay. Biggest lesson about pricing my value. So I'm going to take it this way. And I do. I'm very transparent. I don't want to make a sale, right? I'm in this for the long haul with whoever I end up running with, locking arms with. And so it's not about a conversion or a sales tactic or the perfect script for me. So I'm very transparent, just like you're saying. So I know my value. I know what I bring to it. So one of the greatest lessons I guess I've learned over the course, and it certainly wasn't this way at the beginning. I had imposter syndrome. Like, really? Somebody would pay me that to coach them and stuff like that. I was all up in my head, but over doing this long enough and probably getting a little bit older and I don't know, understanding that not everybody's for me and that's okay. How I would state this is I don't view it that I get paid by the hour. I view it that my job is to more than over deliver. So if I'm charging $2,000 a month to work with me, I I promise you, I will over deliver and then some on that value because you're not paying me, for example, $500 an hour. That's not how I see it. Just like in real estate, realtors don't get paid by the hour, but they do get paid in direct proportion to the value they bring to the hour. And that's the greatest lesson for me is I don't see it as, well, Jake, he's $2,000 a month. We meet for an hour every week. So therefore that's $500 an hour. Sure, that's one way to look at it. But by the end of the year, did I help you grow more than a net $24,000 of new revenue or whatever that we're striving for? So I see it that I get paid in direct proportion to the value I bring to the hour, not the old school way of thinking of like an employee mindset that I get paid on an hourly rate. And through that lesson, this is going to sound half kidding, half not kidding. If somebody says, well, that's expensive, that's too expensive, then I could push back. I'm not this much of a jerk certain days. I could say, well, that's interesting. That's one way of looking at it, that I'm either too expensive, but what if you're too cheap? So please don't beat me up, Facebook, for saying that. And yet the point is, I know what I'm going to bring to the table. And I know that the change that could amount to without even considering the dollars and cents, right? Because maybe you're dealing with work-life balance right now. Your kids don't remember your name. Your husband, your wife, whoever, your significant other doesn't even remember the last time they saw you, kind of thing. What price are you willing to put on that? If I'm able to help you work through that and create real lasting change, you tell me what that's worth. I don't know. It's just one of those kind of interesting things that you've got to stand tall. You've got to push your shoulders back. You've got to know and defend your value and understand, more likely than not, it's actually not a fit budgetarily or otherwise for the other person. But it is worth it when you find the one. And I'll leave it here. Simon Sinek, one of his quotes is, the goal in business is not to do business with everybody who needs what you have. The goal is to do business with those who believe what you believe. So I want to run with people that value my time, my experience, my wisdom, the fact that they've got a growth partner, a thought partner, a strategist, a coach, a consultant, a mentor, all these things rolled into one, rather than seeing it as a coach-coachee transactional relationship. It's like, oh, our hour's up, Catina. I'll see you same time next week. Mm-hmm. Nah, man. Those people I run with, you get all of me. All right. And I'm reasonably available, at any time. So sorry for the long-winded answer, but hopefully that answers it.
I think it was needed because I think all of us look at it that way. And when you're working a 9 to 5, it's very easy to put, okay, $12 an hour, $50 an hour, and you say that's what I make an hour. But when you're an entrepreneur, like we are,
yes.
But how do you define that?
Exactly.
How do you define it? You almost had me about to turn around and just do circles in my chair because you hit on authenticity. You're yourself. Yeah. You're not trying to go out and be anyone else that's hot right now and then trying to change it later and pedal backwards.
That's right.
It's all about authenticity.
That's
and
right.
That's where it lies. And that's where the attraction comes.
And I'll toss that. This is great. This is great dialogue. I'll toss that right back at you. And I'll speak from my experience. And I know based on your responses and how I know you run your brokerage, it's the same. Back to your original question. Well, if I'm $2,000 a month, let's pretend to coach with, you could view it like we've said. Or the way I view it again is what you're getting is all the freaking mistakes. I have paid the stupid tax so many times over for you. If I can save you that. Gee, let me think. Every book I've ever read, every audiobook I've ever listened to, you're getting that. You're getting my sphere of influence, all the connections. If you need something, I probably got a person for that. You get Brent Scott. You get all the coaches. You get all the locker room university and tools and things that comes with it. So I don't know. What is the price tag? What is the going rate in today's market for that stuff? No different than the case you can make with the hands-on support, mentorship, individualized agent-centric approach. How do you put a value on that?
Right.
So, yeah.
I agree.
That's really good. Thank you for that question. That was such a good one. I love that. It was really good. Okay, I'm ready for question 2 for you if you are.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So my next question for you is, none of us have a crystal ball, and I certainly acknowledge that. But if we can, let's go at least 3 years out in the foreseeable future, right? Let alone a year. But let's go 3 years. So if we looked 3 years in the future, what advice would you give to real estate agents right now? Maybe they're watching this right now, so they remain relevant and at the center of the relationship, the center of the transaction into the future. Because you and I both know AI, other softwares, different companies are more or less trying to remove us from the center of the equation. So what advice would you give an agent to make sure they remain at the center of it and relevant?
I was speaking with a broker owner maybe a couple of weeks ago. It could have been in one of the CE classes, and this came up, and the comment was, they can't replace us. And then someone else said, well, we're going to have to find something else, because they're really trying to get rid of us. And I would say authenticity one time in this answer, but if you show up as yourself and you're not a gatekeeper, but you look at yourself as a guide, just what we've talked about over these last couple of questions, and you come and you provide a value for you being there, then we won't go away. Or the ones that feel they won't go away, they will not. So I believe over the next 3 to 5 years, the agents who will survive and even thrive will be the ones who understand that this industry is not what it was 5 years ago, pre-COVID, pre-technology. It's not that anymore. And just as we've had to morph into a chameleon into different things, we will have to morph our business and the real estate industry into this new thing. And if we embrace it, we will go far. So I want to just say some things that will take us there, that the agents that will still be here, what they will need, in my opinion, is you need a relationship over a transaction. It's relational. It's not transactional. Real estate is a relationship. It's a relational process that we're going through. And by the end of every closing, I've developed a friend that I've added to my sphere of influence. And as my sphere of influence expands, my reach expands. It goes beyond South Carolina and Georgia. And anyone looking to come here is going to look at their friend list or their family list. And they're going to say, oh, in their friend list, they have an agent. Let me reach out. Because I'm not just an agent anymore. I'm a friend. It's relational. You can believe it's not, but it is. I've seen people go through so many emotions from the beginning to the end. The next thing is expertise. If you're not bringing any type of expertise, if all you are doing for your continuing education is going to the continuing education classes that are required, you are missing the mark. you're missing it by miles, because they can find out the same thing we can find out online. So if you just want to skim the top, you're with the bulk of the agents. But if you're willing to dig deeper and invest in yourself, have a brokerage that helps invest in you and make sure that you have the knowledge to get anyone to the closing table, then you're a step closer. The third thing, strategic use of technology. So many people, I see them using technology. As soon as I read it, I can tell this is not them. I was a victim of that. I had to change that because it's relational. And then the last piece I'll add to that is you have to operate as a business. You're an independent contractor. That means you own a business, and you have to treat it like a business. Clean up your social media. If you're online and your sphere of influence or your customer or client base is religious and you're on there cursing, you just lost your client base. And that can go for any other analogy. Clean up your social media. And that's the advice I would give. That's the advice I would give looking 3 to 5 years down.
That's one heck of a formula. So I want to make sure I just give this back to everybody in short form, what you just said here. And please correct me if I get anything wrong. But what I heard was, number one, being relational. Relationships versus transactional keeps you relevant well into the future. Absolutely agree. Number two, expertise. It's not enough just to go around opening doors anymore. You got to know the market, know the data, do all that, be the expert, right?
Yes.
Number three, I like the word you added, strategic usage of technology. And I think I heard buried in there somewhere, you and I can both tell when something was written by AI.
Yes.
Right. So no shame in that to a degree, but it still has to be you. It's got to be your voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's that relationship component within the usage of tech. Number four, treating it like a business, which is also a mindset to a degree. And the last thing I heard, the fifth one, oh man, adaptability, pivoting, being coachable. You didn't directly say it, but kind of how you started out your answer, that was the fifth bullet that I wrote down, is the willingness to change and adapt and pivot. And I've always felt, this is the sports person in me, I guess, that that is one of the greatest competitive advantages of having a quicker recovering time and being able to pivot and adapt in real time during the quote unquote game.
Yes.
So love that, especially the relationship component of it all.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to be prepared. You have to be visible and deeply connected to the people you serve if you will survive in 3 to 5 years.
I'm going to catch you a little off guard with this one.
Okay.
If I said, what would your advice be to fellow broker owners? Would anything there change? Would your answer be any different from what you've already given for the agent?
Absolutely not. And I would double down on that for the broker owners.
Right.
Because you should be in business with people that align with your vision, your authenticity, and is going in the same direction. Now, there would be some additional things I add for broker owners to that, because we're the guide.
Yeah.
We're the guide.
Yeah.
So there are things I would add, but I would say every broker owner now needs to have some type of coach or mentor. I don't think it's optional anymore. That's in my opinion.
I don't share that opinion, but I'm a little biased. So hearing it from you is different,
I do. Because when I started real estate, remember, I'm 18 years in. It was just me figuring it out. So it goes back to what you said earlier. You're going to get all of my mistakes, my stupid tax that I already paid. You're going to get all of that. How can a broker owner who's never been an owner, now you've been an agent, that's a whole different ball game than a broker owner.
Yep.
So you mean to tell me you want to go through all the stupid tax that could have been avoided?
Oh,
You need a coach or a mentor. You just do. You can't not have one as a broker owner to avoid some of those things.
your words, not mine. That's powerful. Yeah,
That's-
that's powerful for sure. All right, great stuff right there. I think it's your turn for question number 2 for me.
It is. If you had to rebuild from zero today, what would you do differently? From
Gosh,
zero.
you're not messing around today. I could take that so many directions, Catina. I have done so much wrong, and yet here we are 10 plus years later. That means I got some stuff right, at least along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So what would I do differently if I had to start all over? There's a lot I would do different. That's the problem I'm struggling with. You've asked a good one between the pause between the question and the answer. So a couple things. Keep keep the main thing the main thing. I know that sounds like overly simple, but here's an example of what I'm talking about. And this was pre-AI, so don't judge me. This was like, circa 2017, 2018, 2019. My success and the growth, hockey stick growth that we had starting and launching and scaling the locker room was because we were very clear about who we were, what our mission was, and kept the main thing the main thing. Example, we're a coaching company. That's what we are. Okay. Now and back then. Our stance at the time back then, which has evolved since, but it was taking a stance for the 87% of agents who fail in this industry. Translation, we surveyed the landscape and said, well, most, if not all, coaching companies out there are built for the quote unquote already successful agent, the ones who can afford $1,000 or whatever per month for coaching. And we said, we want to go the opposite direction. They can fight over the shark infested bloody waters, but I got a big, beautiful blue ocean over here, coupled with statistics that prove there's a gap. There's something going on fundamentally as to why almost 9 out of 10 agents don't make it in this business. It is freaking hard, right? But we took a stance for the new agent, the dual career agent, the one in their first couple of years of the business. That's what we initially built the locker room around. And where I'm going with this is a couple of years in, as we were growing and things were happening, money was good and all that, I took something, my coaching style, which was coaching to numbers and data and not all of that, a tracking system, if you will. That was my style. And I learned the hard way, it wasn't every coach's style. And it was like pulling teeth a lot of times from agents to get them to understand the value of tracking their numbers. But I digress. So what I ended up doing is I hired 1, not 2, but 3 different software developers to write code for me to build what was a glorified Google Sheet tracking system and turn that into a software application, like a legitimate website software. I was over $200,000 in at this point, and guess what I have to show for it today? Nothing. What I'm going at is, had we just stayed true to self, we're a coaching company. We're not a tech company. We're not a software development company. And not everybody has the same coaching style as you, Jake. Then, my goodness, was that an expensive mistake, if you will, or learning lesson now as I look back at it. So I would say keep the main thing the main thing. And number 2, I would say is simple. I'll be brief. Keep things simple. There was a time that I just wanted the world. I wanted hundreds of coaches, tens of thousands, millions of clients. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're of the type of thinking big and going for the star. I get it. I'm here for that. But I have learned over time, I actually care and guard my associations more than I ever gave credit for. I am not anymore interested at growth at all costs, growth for growth's sakes. In fact, I'm really, really focused now these days on only going into business with people like Catina who value what I value. We're running together. I love the idea of being a small, tight-knit boutique coaching and training company that is actually hard to get into or we actually do like truly vet. A lot of people say they do, they don't. They're going to take your money. We truly vet who we allow in to be a partner of ours and vice versa. Because if not, we're just selling each other on something that's not even going to exist or make it past 4 months, if that's all it was. So I know that's a lot there. Keep it simple. You don't have to grow big to have big impact, and keep the main thing, especially when growth is humming along. Don't squirrel out too bad.
I've heard you say that before, and one of the things I like about keeping the main thing, is it does seem simple. It seems so, so simple. But whenever you do not, or you partner with
Mhm.
the wrong partner, that's when things start going downhill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
It's wrong partner, whether that's in real estate, if you're listening to this, wrong buyer or seller. Or if
yes,
you're a broker owner listening to this, hiring the wrong agent just because you had to hit a growth metric and an agent count. I'm
correct.
just so over those days. There's nothing at all appealing about that anymore, but I'd be lying if I didn't say the younger version of Jake was all about that. I was chasing just whatever success looked like, I guess. But now maybe I'm grumpy. I don't know. I'm just far more selective and don't need everyone, everything. I'm okay being smallish, broker boutique kind of thing, but very mighty and very tight knit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
how you summarize that.
yeah.
Really good.
Really good question. Again, thank you. Um, okay, I think I've got one more for you, and I know I'm watching the time. Like, all right, we got this.
Oh, we be good. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want Carissa after me. She's
Yes.
been watching this earlier, so no, we're good. So my final question for you is: this is one of my favorite questions. I just love the wisdom a lot of times that's pulled from this question. Looking back, knowing what you know now, what's an example or two of a mistake, a pitfall, something that you had to overcome during your journey? And not just what is an example, but could you elaborate on that for us and say what is the lesson that you learned? How did that help shape who you are today as a result of it? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 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 So I would think, let's see, if I had to say one thing, well, I'll talk about a couple of things. I'll talk about when I started Broadwater 2 Realty. We're going on 10 years. We're 2 years away from 10 years of Broadwater 2 Realty. And I've been in real estate 18 years. So 8 years as an agent, not truly able to see the inside workings of broker owner, or really understanding the difference between a big box agency and an indie agency. So if I had to say one thing, it would be knowledge alone does not create success. Execution does. And if I would have had the wherewithal to create upfront a business plan, goals for my business, I probably would have been a lot further. If if I would have had a coach that could have given me some inside information, um, because I found trying to grow without structure was really, really, really hard because it was just me. So the first thing I did was bring my daughter in and say, hey, I need you to make calls for me. I need you to be in the office to help me out. Now, mind you, that's not, my daughter is a nurse now. So that's not where her heart was. But I'm going into this without the foundation and framework to be successful. Now, that made me work 50 times harder than I would have had to work if I would have created those steps and that structure up front. So if I also learned to embrace discomfort, because during that ramp up, those first 3 years, it was a lot of discomfort in that. And living in that space of, okay, how do I cycle back and bring it forward where I don't lose my shirt? Because there's, when you're starting a business, there's overhead. I had a small office. I had one person. It was my daughter, but I still have to pay her. This is a business. I don't expect anyone to come into anything and not be paid. And I'm doing everything myself. And then there's an agent. They're like, okay, I want to join your agency. I'm not recruiting, but I want to join. So now I bring this agent in this mess, and she's in there with me, running 1,000 miles a minute, trying to make things happen. She's still with me to this day. But I'll tell you, I would have a coach to help walk me through it. Now, the two things I did do was I did have an accountant and an attorney. Those were the things I did do. I knew I needed that, but those cost money. So a coach beforehand would have served me a lot better than me just jumping in just myself and feeling like I could make it happen. I would never underestimate a broker owner's job ever.
Amen to that. Or just even in general, a business owner. I mean, it is so friggin' hard unless you've been in the arena. I'm not sure you'll ever understand. Just by the way, I don't mean that to be like high and mighty. I'm saying I've never been a waiter or a waitress. I don't know what it's like to do that in a restaurant, and probably how chaotic and stressful it really is, because I've never been one.
Right.
But I respect it, right? Two things, just you don't need me to summarize your points. You say it far better than me anyways. I just, on a personal note, two things that jumped out to me the most then was, I don't want to misquote you, something like, knowledge alone doesn't create success.
Correct.
Execution does.
Correct.
That was like, write that down. Quote Catina. That's good. And then just overall your emphasis around structure and systems and having that solid foundation when we think we're smarter than we are.
Yes.
And we just, I'll save the money. I can do this myself. Yes. Only to look back years later saying, dadgummit, look, had I just taken the shortcut to this metaphorical success and gotten out of my own way and hired the help of somebody else, I could have been along further faster.
Yeah, it's that stupid tax.
It's a stupid tax.
It's that stupid tax.
By the way, that's from what her and I keep quoting is from a book. I think it's called The Road Less Stupid. It's a great book. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you for your transparency and vulnerability around that. And here you are still 18 years later, making something of it, doing big things. And I can speak firsthand, recently brought on a coach into your world because you're at that next level of, hey, I need to break through. I need to refine something to get where we're going next. So kudos.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So now I think it's on me.
I think it's on you. Last one, and then I'll just do a quick rapid fire round and we'll close it out.
Okay. If you could partner with anyone, because there's so many coaches out there, and I know the coach has to have a coach.
Yeah.
If any broker owner is out there right now and you could partner with anyone, who would it be and why?
Oh man, you gotta make me call some people out here. So when you when you say partner, are you saying somebody that would coach and mentor me, or are you saying if I was to join forces in some hypothetical world with another coach, who would that be? The latter?
Latter.
Oh, I don't want to leave anybody out here. Can I give more than one answer?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, I'm going to give a couple. Number one, my coach right now, because you're right, every coach should have a coach kind of thing, right? So my coach, his name is Abe. Abe is just a genius in my eye. I had followed him for years, Catina, and just had so much respect for him and the ranks that he was in and the circles and spheres of influence that he was involved in. Just a good dude, transparent, authentic, like all these things you're saying is like, I just naturally connected to this guy, watching him on stages and videos and things, but he never knew who I was. So fast forward in recent months, he put out a post on his social media saying that he was opening space on his calendar again. And I slid right in there and I said, well, you don't know me probably, but I'm interested. And now here we are. So I just think that if his brain power and authenticity coupled with what I would bring to the table could be a really explosive something. I don't know what that's something, collaborative program or effort or business together would be really fun and impactful. There's also other figures. Hank A. Vink, if you're watching this, man, Wayne Salmons, if you're watching this, there's just so many people that I've had a tremendous amount of respect for, and they were always the go-giver. They gave time to me. They gave wisdom away to me in times when I frankly needed it the most, going through some turbulent periods, growing the locker room. They didn't have to do that, but that's just who they are. And I've always had this thought in the back of my mind, like, man, what could I do together with something like that? They don't need to sell out. I don't need to sell out, but is there a product, a program, something together that we would be able to do? Maybe your question has me thinking, maybe I should pursue that. Why not just put it out there to them? Why not ask the question? If it's a no, it's a no. But there's some really great coaches that have helped me along the way. I can't stop at just the 2 or 3 that I had mentioned. Stephanie Brackett, just absolute game changers that could be a lot of fun if I ever did something like you're suggesting with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. And I think deeper than that, sorry, I'm long-winded. It's never forgetting who helped dig the well. Mm-hmm. These are the people, Catina. And if I asked you the same question, it would be, you would think of people maybe that you hadn't spoken to in 17 years, but they were there. They were there when it mattered. And I just will always show a tremendous amount of gratitude for the people that were there in the humble beginnings when nobody else was willing to give you a shot. Correct. Len Cornacchia, you know who you are, man. Debbie, you know who you are. These are the people that were in my corner, especially when the bullets were flying, but they were all about the mission and rising above the noise. And it's like, man, thank God for people like that, especially in the early times, because it would have been so much easier just to give up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that open, honest answer, because it never stops.
It doesn't.
You cannot stop. You have to keep going. And that's one thing I implore you to do if you have it. You may say, well, I don't have the money. Find the money. You find the money for everything else. Find the money. It will change everything.
Yeah. Amen.
Thank you.
Amen to that. That was fun. Thank you for asking that. And now you got my brain spinning, like, maybe I should reach out. Now I got too much on my plate right now. That's enough. Catina, this has been amazing. We're almost done.
Okay.
But I would like to do a quick rapid fire round with you. 4 super quick questions, just whatever comes to your mind first, and then we'll land this plane. Sound all right?
Sounds good.
Okay. My first rapid fire round question for you is, favorite movie?
I have so many. But one.
Give us one. Yeah.
But one that I refer people to is, and I need a bonus one. I'll do the bonus one real quick. It's Collateral Beauty with Will Smith. There is a part in there, a scene in that movie where he's talking to the guy and he thinks that the guy can't want to see the guy. You really have to see this movie.
Collateral Beauty, you said?
Collateral Beauty with Will Smith.
Yeah, got it.
He said, a question is asked and his answer is, time is an illusion. If you feel you have time, you're out of your mind. Because I remember just like yesterday, my baby was born at 30 years. Or you may feel you have time, but someone else taking advantage of, and now you're left in the bags, like, what happened? Yeah. Do it now. So if you have an idea or anything, do it now. And then the bonus one I'll give you is something the Lord has made. I had my kids watch that movie. Now, that's just how good it is. And it's Mos Def is in that one, and I can't think of the other actor, but and Gabrielle Union is in it, but that one will make you rethink how far you've come.
Something
The
the
impact
something the
you
Lord has made.
Mhm. Or
I just wrote these down. Okay.
yeah, or the impact that you have had on people.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you. That's good. See, with this, we just get to learn the other side of you here. Is there a unique talent, or that maybe it's not that, but a random fun fact about yourself that maybe not too many people know about?
I'm an avid horse lover. Avid.
Horse lover. Yeah.
I've been riding horses since I was 12, and I still enjoy it to this day. And I enjoy it more when my dad goes with me. We rode together since I was 12, and we still ride together.
Mm.
Yeah.
Funny you should say I don't ride, but I have a 12-year-old daughter, and she, for years now, has been riding Axel, her horse.
Yes.
So that's cool. You two would get along great.
Yes, I love it. Love it.
Cool. Yeah. Third one. Is there a favorite vacation destination of yours, and if so, why?
My husband and my husband never used to vacation. And when we met, we started vacationing because I told him, "You're not going to work me to death. No, if we're going to work, I'll work, but we need vacation time." When we went to Dubai, it was absolutely beautiful. We spent 9 days in Dubai, and that has been my favorite destination place.
I got to go there someday. I got a buddy who's basically living out there, Jonathan, if you happen to see this. And yeah, I just lived through all of his pictures and videos. It looks incredible. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah. All right, very last one. I know you got to stop coming up here. Quick short story or example of like a real estate blooper, maybe you messed up, or a strange thing that's happened to you, you know, showing a home or a ghostly encounter. There's all kinds of stories out there, you know, in real estate. So anything like that.
I have a lot of those over 8 years, but there's one that was recent where I sent the inspector out to the house, and he's inspecting the house, and then he calls me. He let me know he was there, and then 15 minutes later, he said, I cannot inspect this house. And I'm like, why? You know, I'm thinking something's happened, or, you know, there's snakes in the house. Snakes.
Like just
in the house. Yes.
Oh, God.
Had to go. I had to send somebody out there, and by the time they got out there, the snakes were gone. I'm like,
now they're in the walls and the ceilings.
Yeah. I'm like, are you sure you saw a snake? He was like, it was a snake. They were in the bathtubs. I'm like,
oh.
Yes. So
that'll give you the creepy crawlies. Yeah.
Yes. That was the craziest thing. That was last year.
Okay. All right. That's just pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Catina, again, I've had a blast. I hope you have too. This is a really cool way to get to know you. Even though I already did, I learned everything today. It was brand new information for me as far as I'm concerned. So thank you for your time, your energy, your wisdom, giving back, putting yourself out there. If I'm watching this, maybe I'm either a fellow broker owner or even an agent who's watching this in your neck of the woods, to whatever degree you're comfortable, how can I reach out to you? How should we connect? Email, websites, anything you're comfortable giving?
Absolutely. Broadwater2realty.com. Our phone number is 803-226-0473. And we are located right on Silver Bluff and Doherty at 601 Silver Bluff Road in Aiken, South Carolina. We would love to hear from you.
There you go. She said that a time or two. That just rolled off the tongue. That was great.
It just rolls off. Thank you, Jake, so much. I appreciate this. You have me nervous, but
no, these are meant to be fun. Just kind of a little fireside chat, and just the whole world has a chance to watch it. That's all.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you again, guys. This is Broker Showdown over and out with Catina Broadwater, Broadwater Tool Realty. Absolute awesome episode, and I hope you will connect with her and reach out and let her know what you took from the things that she shared today. All right?
Absolutely. Thank you.
We'll close it out, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.